Welcome to this very short presentation on careers and localization, upskill, reskill, and cross-skill. When talking about which skills will be needed in the language industry of the future, we need to look at the trends shaping that industry first. There are three areas of important trends. The macro trend of social and societal changes that will change needs for the industry, the growth of certain markets and sectors that will shift focus of our work, and the continued changes within the industry itself, from disintermediation to the effects of artificial intelligence. Let's start with social change. As societies worldwide become more diverse, awareness of how language can, should, and mustn't shape thinking has become much more prevalent. Social justice movements have been identifying racist, sexist, ableist language, and clients of language services want more inclusive language. That means that one of the skills that people need to hone in on is geocultural awareness. Not a new skill per se, but one that becomes even more relevant and one where artificial intelligence might not be that good. We'll also see more demand of agile terminology management. The second macro trend that affects our industry is the general demographic change that shows aging populations in most parts of the world, with a notable exception of many African countries. Demand for health services, including for mental health, will grow. Despite what populists in many Western countries might say, there will also be an increased need for immigration, and with that, more demand for translation. To understand older demographics, which might be less IT literate, and immigrant communities, but also for the traditional localization work, user research and the analysis of usage metrics will become much more relevant. And with them, the skills needed for these areas that are not traditional core businesses of localization teams. With different population growth, but also because of many other factors, including sanctions, for example, see Russia, markets will develop differently and languages will lose or gain in importance. Understanding new or suddenly much more important markets will require similar user research and data analytics skills. Not only markets will shift in importance, but also sectors. E-commerce and e-learning were two big winners of the COVID pandemic, and they are still forecast to grow. I've already mentioned healthcare. So all three mentioned sectors require domain-specific knowledge when products are to be successfully localized and marketized. Mere translation will not suffice to launch products internationally here. Now, to changes in localization processes. Localization processes have been ever-changing, and none of the ones mentioned here are completely new, but they will accelerate. Disintermediation, meaning the use of translation marketplaces instead of traditional LSPs, the use of machine translation, now mostly neural MT, and the use of artificial intelligence in areas beyond MT, from source text analysis to automatic task assignment. So, basic understanding of artificial intelligence, including MT training and machine learning, will be a necessity in the language industry of the future. So there are also skills to kill, skills people won't need anymore. Well, some traditional project management skills have started becoming obsolete with much better infrastructure and agile localization, like scheduling handoffs and handbacks and transferring files within them. The organization of traditional linguistic reviews also becomes obsolete as organizations prefer user feedback over academic reviews. Well, and since COVID, obviously nobody needs to keep pets, kids, dirty dishes out of the view of the camera anymore. But maybe those were skills you never really needed. But one skill will be more critical than all the other ones: the capacity to learn, unlearn, and relearn. The eagerness to learn, always an important skill in the ever-changing language industry, will be more important than ever. And for management, this might mean that they also need to learn about and look at new roles within their localization teams. Data analysts and scientists, user researchers, machine learning experts might complement or sometimes replace traditional roles. And with that, time is already up. Thanks a lot for your interest.